Hello, Rajiv.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, ma'am. What about you?
I'm perfectly all right. How is life going on? Hectic, comfortable, enjoyable, cheerful?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, sometimes life throws different kind of challenges in front of me, but anyhow, I cope up all these things and going ahead of those things. So it's all okay. So going smoothly, no problem.
Right. So, as you said, that sometimes life throws challenges. And yes, ups and downs is a part of life, and bricks and bouquets
Yes,
are always accepted wholeheartedly, right?
yes.
Okay. So, anything particular you want to discuss or the topic we can take?
Yes, as you wish, ma'am. Actually, my main motto is to become fluent. So either you can go by the topics or as you wish. But if you have anything, then you can say
Okay.
something about that also.
So,
No
do you
problem.
know what's the topic given on the portal? It's an interesting one.
Yes, storytelling, storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, speaking creativity, storytelling and imagination.
Right.
Speaking creativity. It is also related to speaking fluency and all.
Yes. When we read a story and when we narrate a story, there is a difference. But first of all, if somebody tells you that define what is storytelling, then how will you in simple words?
Yes. As far as my understanding is concerned, then I stand about the storytelling is like it is full of emotions. We must have that kind of art to express ourselves and a proper emotion, feelings. Because in normal speaking, I will be speaking. You can ask me few question and then I will be speaking accordingly. But in storytelling, it is a little bit deeper than speaking, as I believe, because we need to pour the emotions sometimes happiness, sometimes uh, grief, and sometimes exclamatory things. So we will have to adjust accordingly. So we must know the articulation, we must know how to pour the emotions, and we should not be hesitant while doing so. So that is the storytelling. It's a little bit deeper than normal speaking, as I believe.
Very good, very well described. It's that art of narration. We share our experience and we have to connect with the readers or with the audience if we are face to face telling the story. And yes,
Yes.
emotions must be provoked. Those happiness, sadness, surprise, all feelings, if they're coming on the faces of readers or the audience, the storyteller is completely successful. Okay.
Yes.
Story, sometimes we read the story and
Yes.
sometimes we tell the story. Story
Yes.
is same, but what's the difference in reading and telling?
Reading is just a normal, like yeah, we are reading from the books, and normally we are reading. And narrating is like just like we are in that particular story, and we are feeling about that story. That I am a part of that story, and and I am narrating. I am expressing accordingly, like like it happened to me, and the same experience, same uh, feelings. I am expressing that story. That is narrating a story, as I believe.
Yes. When we read in the book, that's a structured one, already structured, where
Hmm.
introduction, body, conclusion, message, everything is visible.
Yes.
Formal interpretation is there, and we are passively either listening or reading. But there, when we are telling, there is a play upon the word. Structure may not be
Hmm.
in that coherence manner because now we are playing with our sentences as well as words, ideas. So there can be here and there. And
Hmm.
yes, expressions on our face and listeners' face are completely important. Engagement of the audience, right?
Yes. Yes.
What is the importance of storytelling?
Yes. It is
I'll
a
be
very
giving points, you will be explaining in your
yes.
words, right? First, it connects people.
Hmm.
How does
Yes.
it connect?
It connects people because people resonate with the story very quickly. They they listen very attentively because it is connected to each other. Means one sentence is connected to other. So and they listen it very attentively, and it's also a kind of entertainment, enjoyable kind of things. So people uh, hear it attentively, they listen it, and if it is inspiring or real, then its importance is huge. People definitely give their time to understand the story about any real life example. If it is inspiring story from some good personality, like he suppose anyone who is at very low level and trying to become good, trying to excel in their life, improve in their life, and anyhow he managed to do so. So that type of story people definitely resonate. Nowadays internet is full of this kind of story, inspirational kind of stories, and people resonate with this kind of story. Definitely they give time and hear attentively this kind of a story. That is the main thing, and that's all from our childhood. As we have been listening a story from our grandfather, grandmother, different kind of stories. So we are conditioned about the stories, as I think, and we love to hear a story. Even today, I'll hear a story from different kind of sources and storyteller, many good storyteller on YouTube also. So time to time I hear. So definitely it goes deeper into the heart of a person, and that person will remember it for a longer period of time if it is narrated in a way of a story. But if normal talking way, if I say something, then they can forget after some time. But if I say in a storytelling manner, then definitely they will remember for a longer period of
Perfect. Creates a bond between the
creates
teller
a
and
bond.
the listener. Sometimes we
Yes,
start identifying with the characters also. If the character, sometimes we feel, oh, I'm like that. Oh,
yes.
that character is like my father, very kind hearted.
Hmm.
So a connection is built with those characters as well as with the storyteller. Okay.
Yes,
Mostly stories leave message. If we
yes.
go back to our school days, you remember
Hmm.
in fifth,
Yes.
sixth, thirsty crow and greedy.
Moral of the story.
Moral of
Yeah.
the story, those
Yes.
Aesop's fables.
Yes.
So, do you believe that these messages do wonders in our life?
Yes, ma'am, perfectly. I believe that it imparts a great role in our personality. Like when I was a child and I heard the story of Mahabharata, like Kauravas was Kauravas were 100, Kauravas was 100, and Pandavas were five.
Five.
But they obey the dharma. They were on the truth side. That's why they won the war. And
Mhm.
this kind of story actually tells us to obey the right path, not get indulged in the uh, wrong way. And it restricts us to be on the right path, not and abide by the law, abide by the dharma. So we learn from this thing, from this kind of history. So it's very, very important. That's why it is given in the childhood books, and we read it. And because of that, we are at least we are not criminals because of that reason. So it is good.
Absolutely. Yes, you are right that stories mostly leave a positive message for us, and though maybe a horrible or based on on crime, still at last we come to know that evil meets its end. So that
Hmm.
means stories inspire us to follow the path of righteousness. Okay, they
Yes.
preserve our history, as you talked about Mahabharata. So
Yes.
otherwise we may not be able to know about what happened in the earlier days. So in the form
Hmm.
of story we remember our scriptures, our history, and it,
Yes.
yeah, becomes quite motivating for all of us. Last is the exchange of culture. So
Hmm.
cultural exchange is there. South Indian stories, if we are listening, So we come to know, do we come to know about their culture through story?
Yes, so through story we come to know about the culture, but little bit different state by state, little bit differences are there. But overall, the culture is the same, and same things are being followed, but little bit differences like language difference, attire difference. So these are the small differences are there, but
Food
main thing,
habits.
yes, foundation is the same.
Of course, human instinct still
Yes,
remains the same in any corner of the world, but
yes,
their language, their attire, as you
hmm.
said, their eating habits. So through stories, we come to know. Possibly, if 50, 60 years back we go by, we may not be knowing that how idli and sambar is made, but now everybody knows.
Yes,
So, yeah, so
yes,
these things, of course, exchange is very important. That
hmm.
brings me to the notes. Just open the note.
Yes, sure.
The first image,
Yes.
the
First
light
image
is,
is
yeah, strictly on the book,
yes, on the book.
and down what is written,
Speaking creativity, storytelling, and imagination.
sparking creativity.
Sparking. Okay, I'm sorry. Sparking. It
As
is actually
yeah.
I'm through mobile, so that's why it's a
Oh,
little bit problematic.
okay.
Okay.
All right. No problem. Storytelling and imagination. Can we create creativity in storytelling and imagination? Can we
Yes,
create
definitely.
our creativity is visible in storytelling and imagination? How we can create? Yes, we can create. How we can
Yes,
create that something original?
yes. Through imagination, as I believe that we can create creativity and we can make it more beautiful, more impressive. According to the audience, we should take a little bit shift. We can take shift to make it more interesting, and
Mhm.
through imagination we can make it more creative.
I'll be giving points because I have seen that you explain it very well and fluently as well as judiciously. So, first, how we can create that creativity in storytelling as well as in our imagination, because writers and authors are very imaginative. Sometimes we read that type of stories which we never thought of that this can happen. So, first, the technique or the strategy is read widely. When we
Widely,
read widely,
wisely, widely.
widely,
Okay.
different genres, cultures, styles,
Hmm.
so do
Hmm.
you think that we can bring creativity in our writing or telling?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. We can create creativity, but we have that kind of a skill, that kind of practice, articulation power. Means it's overall it's an artistic kind of thing.
Mhm.
So we actually normally, if I take example of my own self, then I'm not that much articulative and creative, and I cannot go deeper into the imagination.
Mhm.
So because I haven't practiced this thing. So that's why. So I think that if I practice a lot, if I go deeper into the imagination and then try to inculcate all those imaginary feeling
Mhm.
and pleasing kind of feeling so that people can resonate with it. And once they can resonate it, they will definitely take interest in the story and the story will uh, abide all the people and audience. They will listen attentively. So then I think creativity purpose will be served.
Good. Second is, if we ask ourselves a question hypothetically, and does it bring creativity in our imagination? For example, uh, I'm looking at the map and I ask myself this question, that if this town disappears from this map overnight, do you
Hmm,
think that that type of questions, when we ask ourselves, that in economics, one
hmm,
economist says that
hmm,
tomorrow we may all die. So these type of questions, if we ask ourselves, does this spark creativity?
Yes, ma'am, definitely, because it will give you a question mark, and then after your imaginary power will come into the picture. That how we can imagine. If our imaginary power is uh, equipped with all the articulation kind of things, we can articulate the things, we can make the things better, and we have that kind of power to relate the things. Suppose this city is uh, vanished from the map, then what would be after that here? Like it may be some kind of field or forest. Then, according to that, we should relate it that it would be a forest, and we will be just like tribal people and running after food and shelter in old age kind of scenario, and we can elaborate those things that right now we are in. And lastly, we can bring it to the real picture that right now we are in very privileged state, and we can do whatever we want to do. So it may become inspirational. So likewise, I have given you a little bit example. So likewise, we must have that kind of power so that we can articulate the things and yeah, and make it more creative and and worthy or also to people. Then I think it is creative.
If I have to ask one question to myself, I will ask, uh, what will happen if Canada becomes the 51st state of America? So, similarly, I asked you, what question you will ask yourself relating to present scenario or anything imaginary?
Yes, likewise, I imagine, suppose I get my childhood again, then what would I do after that?
Right, time
So,
traveling.
yes. So that type of things I would ask to myself, and then I will definitely understand the value of time and utilize all those time in a very efficient manner. So I would definitely understand the value of time. So I ask this type of question to myself, and for personal improvement, personal growth related. So definitely it will impart a good role in overall personality of mine, and I can share to other also if they want, and little bit if it is possible to add some value in other person's lives, then it is very marvelous job as I believe.
We are in the present, seeing the scenario. We are heading towards World War III. Do you keep yourself updated with the political scenario or the news around the world?
Yes, man, I watch news,
Mhm.
and but not much um, because it does not work too much because I am from private sector. But yes, I watch news because it is related. News is related to everyone. There is no doubt about it. So
Mhm.
I watch time to time news, and because I have to take care of the financial news also, so
Mhm.
I watch on daily basis news. And yes, we are heading towards the World War III. That news I have come across yesterday and the day before yesterday also, because there are a lot of chaos all around the world like US, Pakistan,
Mhm.
and Russia, Ukraine. Main right now, this war is taking place. Russia and Ukraine, they have been fighting since a long time, and still it is on. So it must be stopped right now. And Donald Trump is trying to stop it, but he failed actually. So that's why he is very agitated, and because of that, he spoke very rudely also to Vladimir Putin. So that's why Vladimir Putin also responded that we have also nukes. So yes, we are heading towards that, but it is not good for the humanity. So they must form a united. They already formed, but it is not that much powerful. They should give a lot of power to United Nations, and
That's only on
they
the
sh-
paper. That's UNO.
yes,
It
yes,
doesn't
they
have. It's
hmm,
uh, completely powerless and in the hands of a man.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes, so that will not work. They should obey its rule and regulation, and they should also focus that what is the reason of this kind of conflicts and how we can stop those things. So if they focus on this, and it must be bilateral, and it should take care of both the sides, and definitely, and with the understanding, with the dialogue, this kind of problem may be sorted, may be fixed. And ego is also a big issue to fight this kind of war. And if they keep their ego aside and think properly and give place to dialogue, then definitely this can be sorted quickly.
There was Ayn Rand's novel. You talked about ego. uh, it says that Fountainhead, that ego is the basis of man's progress and development, because
Yes.
our ego prompts us to go forward, give competition to our opponents, and come out uh, with achievements. Okay, tomorrow, whatever we are discussing, it will go into the womb of history and become part of stories in the books when children would be reading in the school, right? In the history
Yes.
subject.
Yes.
Okay. Um, and just a small debate we shall be having, because I feel that you can give very solid points. Topic is story, traditional storytelling, that is of grandma's times.
Hmm.
Traditional storytelling was more powerful than today's digital storytelling. I'm repeating.
Hmm.
Traditional grandma storytelling style is
Hmm.
was more powerful than today's modern digital storytelling.
Yes.
So, which side you will be taking? Agree or disagree? Otherwise, the second side I will be taking. Of course, I'll be giving small replies to boost the debate.
Mhm. I think style was very good because
So,
that
you
time.
are for the motion, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Against side, I'll take.
Yeah.
You start with that.
Yeah, yes. Actually, those days, actually, when I used to be a child, then my grandmother used to tell me different kind of stories, and there was no that much influence of internet, and these type of things were not available. So
Mhm.
we were totally cool, calm, composed situation. We have a lot of time, 1 hour, 2 hours in the night, and she used to tell this different kind of inspirational stories related to uh, righteousness, religious kind of a story also, and apart from that story also. And we are very focused, used to listen that story. So it used to go very deeper into our mind, into our heart, and we remember it properly. And it imparts a good role in our personality to become a good human being. And there are multiple stories are like that, like Ramayana, like Mahabharata, and many more Dada Dadi Kahani, many more stories are like that, and they are very useful. And nowadays, what's happening? Like it is on the YouTube, on digital mode. There are a lot of distractions. This age is full of distractions, and children are also not that much. Their focusing span have been reduced. They cannot focus more than 5-10 minutes on a story. So within that stipulated time, it is very difficult to learn something worthy. So through pictures, like on YouTube, we can see the picture also along with the story. So it could penetrate into their mind and they can understand it also. And they are also very smart. There's no doubt about it. And they are also learning through YouTube. But electronic gadgets had some limitation. And if we put our many, if we sit in front of the electronic gadget for a longer period of time, then we are just cut from the real
Mhm.
world. But
Mhm.
if we talk one on one, if we talk to real people and listen from them, then we can ask the question. We can ask any question to our grandma or grandfather. We can ask question. If we have any doubt, if we have any curiosity, then we can ask directly,
Mhm.
impromptu.
Mhm.
But here we cannot ask anything through electronic media or YouTube. Whatever they are showing, that much we have to understand. So that is the big drawback of digital age, and they had a lot of experience apart from this. They were saying their story, and if I ask or anybody asks some question, they can answer it very efficient. They have a lot of
Mhm.
experience, knowledge. So our urge of knowledge is quenched, and we feel contented that yes, I have earned something. I came to know something worthy. So that thing is missing actually.
Rajiv, you are perfectly all right. Sitting with the grandparents, listening to them created a bond in itself. But the range was very narrow at that time. If we remember, we will ask our grandma to tell us the story. Same stories she will be repeating again and again. We don't have choice for that. Now the range is wider. We can globally also in seconds we can reach. Sound is there, visual is there. You
Hmm.
can ask the chat GPT what type of story you want based on children or horror story, anything we can have just in a jiffy of second. Moreover, accessibility is there, availability anytime we are traveling. We are just sitting in one corner of the library, we are sitting in the dark room of our house also. We can have access to the stories, right? And just to give boost, but I fully agree with your views.
Yes, yes, you are also right, ma'am. Actually, it is also true. There is no doubt about it. We can ask anything to ChatGPT and it answers,
Yeah.
and very efficiently it answers. We can use it in a very
Yes.
professional way also. So there is no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
So, well done, Rajiv. I don't have anything to point out as a mistake. It was a very insightful session. Like talking to you, grammar was excellent. It was, and good words were used.